Dear student, we have already completed chapter 4, that is magnetic effect of electric current. So now today we are going to start the new chapter, that is chapter number 5, that is magnetism. Now what is actually magnetism? Let us see. A magnet is a material that has both the properties, attractive as well as directive properties. Magnet attracts the heap. If there is a heap of small pieces of iron, then a magnet can attract them. A magnet has the property of attracting pieces of cobalt, nickel, iron, etc. So this property of attraction is called as the magnetism. Property of attraction. What is magnetism? Magnetism is the property of attraction. Property of attraction. That's a very important. What is that? Actually, this is the name of the chapter, and for what we are going to do the study? Magnetism, property of attraction. Now see, we are going to see the basic properties of magnets. The first property is the attractive property that I have already explained. If a heap of the iron pieces are there and the magnet is taken in contact with that heap of iron pieces, then it attracts towards it. Of course, this thing we have already learned. Again, at the poles, the magnetic attraction is maximum, and in between the magnet it is minimum. That also we have seen in the previous classes. So see here, the attraction property, the attractive property, that is the first part. Attractive property. Attractive, or you can say attraction property, that is the first part. That is one of the basic property of the magnet. Second one, directive property. It always aligns along the north-south direction. If it has been suspended freely, if the magnet is suspended freely, then it always north-south direction remains constant. It always remains constant at the north-south direction. That is one of the second property under this, that is the directive property. Property number third is there, like poles repels and unlike poles attract. What happens if the two like poles are there? That also we have seen in the previous classes. There is attraction. Suppose two magnets are there. Suppose this is north, south, south, north. If suppose this is a magnet and this is a B magnet, then what will happen? There will be a repulsion. Because between the two same poles, there will be a repulsion. Of course, these are the like poles. And if there are two unlike poles are there like this, unlike poles are there, so south, north, south is there will be attraction. There will be attraction. So like poles, repulsion, unlike poles, attraction. That is the third property, and which is a very important property of a magnet. Fourth property is there, that is magnetic poles always exist in pairs. Magnetic poles always exist in pairs. Fourth property, magnetic poles always exist in pairs. What is the meaning of this? Magnetic poles always exist in pairs. Suppose one magnet I have taken. the poles north and south. If in the middle it has been cut, it is well if that one magnet has been divided into two parts, what will happen? These two parts will be like this. What will happen? North, south, like this. One magnet has been divided into two magnets. Again now let us see, two magnets has been divided into four magnets. What will happen? Two magnets is divided into four magnets. What will happen? Let us see what happens. Again what will happen here? For this case it will be north, south. Again for this case it will be north, south. In this case it will be north and south, and for this case it will be north and south. So they will be always, they are not having monopoles, they are always dipoles. Always magnet is having a dipole, north and south. One magnet, if it has been divided into two, if it has been divided into four, it always exists in pairs. Always, no monopole is there. There is a dipole, north south, north south, north south, north south. So this is also one of the important property, that is magnetic poles always exist in pairs. These are the four important properties, basic properties of magnet that we have seen. Now we are going to see some of the important definitions in connection with magnetism. Let us see some of the important definitions in connection with magnetism. Let us see some of the important definitions. The first definition is there, magnetic field. The first definition, magnetic field. Magnetic field. The first definition. What is the meaning of magnetic field? The space around the magnet within which its influence can be felt. Isn't it? That is called as the magnetic field. The space around the magnet within which its influence can be felt, its influence can be experienced. That is called as the magnetic field. Point number 2. Let us see the second definition. Uniform magnetic field. Second definition, uniform magnetic field. Uniform magnetic field. A magnetic field is said to be uniform if in that region of the poles, if direction, magnitude and direction will be same throughout the region. Throughout the region, magnitude and direction will be same throughout the region. That is called as a uniform magnetic field. Third point is there, that is magnetic axis. Third point is there, that is magnetic axis. Magnetic axis. Let us draw the diagram for magnetic axis. This is a magnet. North pole, here is the south pole. Then magnetic axis, the line passing through both the poles, joining. This line is joining, isn't it? That is the magnetic axis. Magnetic axis, the line passing through the poles of a magnet. The line passing through the poles of a magnet. So this is one of the poles, this is another pole. That is the magnetic axis. And what is the geometrical length for this here? Geometrical length, the complete length of a magnet. That is the geometrical length. Geometrical length. Geometrical length is the complete length of a magnet, while the line passing through, or you can say the line passing through the center of the magnet, joining north and south, that is the magnetic axis. Okay, so this is a magnetic axis, this is a geometrical length, or you can say it as a magnetic length also. You can see this is, of course this is axis, and that is also a magnetic length. And it has been found that the ratio between magnetic length, and geometrical length that can be given 0.84. That has been observed experimentally. It has been observed experimentally that the ratio of magnetic length and geometrical length will be given as 0.84. Magnetic equator. What can you say about magnetic equator? Next definition. Magnetic equator. See here. This is north. Of course, this is south. This is the magnetic axis, and this line is there which is perpendicular. The line which is perpendicular, the axis which is perpendicular to the magnetic axis, that is your magnetic equator. मैग्नेटिक एक्सिस को जो लाइन परपेंडिकुलर होती है और सेंटर से जाती है, it is passing through the center and perpendicular to the magnetic axis, that is your magnetic equator. Understand? So these are the most important definitions in connection with the magnetism that we have seen. Now one of the most important topic we are going to see, Coulomb's law of magnetic force. Let us see Coulomb's law of magnetic force. Coulomb's law of magnetic force. Coulomb's law of magnetic force. This law can be stated like this. The law states that the force of attraction or repulsion is directly proportional to the product of its pole strength. Directly proportional to the product of pole strength. That is, F is directly proportional to QM1, QM2. This is your equation 1. Directly proportional to the pole strength and inversely proportional to square of the distance between them. R is the distance between the two. R is the distance between QM1 and QM2. So, F is directly proportional to QM1, QM2, equation 1. Second equation is F is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. F is inversely proportional to 1 upon R square. R is the distance. So combining 1 and 2, what you will get? F is directly proportional to QM1, QM2 divided by R square. If we remove this directly proportional, we can write F is equal to K QM1, QM2 upon R square, where K is the constant of proportionality. Where K is the constant of proportionality, and in SI unit it can be given by K is equal to mu 0 upon 4 pi, whose value is, we have already seen, 10 to the power minus 7, whose value we have already seen 10 to the power minus 7 Newton. This is the Coulomb law. So this can be right, F is equal to mu 0 upon 4 pi QM1 QM2 upon R square. This is the standard form which can be given as Coulomb's law of magnetic force. Please note this value of K is, we have already seen in Biot-Savart law also, as we have remembered, if you have remembered. K is equal to mu 0 upon 4 pi, the value of this is 10 to the power minus 7 Newton. So on the basis of this expression, on the basis of this law, we will take one of the numerical. Let us see. see the numerical goes like this. Two magnetic poles are there. I am going to read the numerical first, then we will see the data given, and then at the last we will see what we have to calculate. So let us say I am going to read the numerical. Two magnetic poles are there, one of which is 4 times stronger than the other. If one of the pole is QM1, or suppose QM is there, and another one is 4Q, suppose M1, 4QM2. Of course, this is greater, 4 times greater. Two magnetic poles, one of which is 4 times stronger than the other, exert a force of 5 gram force on each other. 5 gram force. That is given 5 gram force. Now, this can be converted into kilogram force. First of all, this we have to convert it kilogram force. What will happen? 5 into 10 to the power minus 3 kilogram force. And again, this can be converted in a Newton by multiplying 9.8. 5 into 10 to the power minus 3 into 9.8 Newton. This will be converted into Newton. Okay. So this is one of the statement, important statement given by the numerical. This is another statement, and the conversion we have made like this. Third one, the distance is given. What distance? Each other. When placed at a distance of 10 centimeter, when the value of R is given 10 centimeter, that is equal to 10 upon 100. 0, 0 will be cancelled. 1 upon 10, that is equal to 0.1 meter. This is the distance that is given. Because 100 centimeter is equal to 1 meter, accordingly we can divide, and we can get centimeter can be converted into meter like this. Okay. Now, I think so all the values we have obtained. So now using Coulomb law of magnetism, we have Coulomb law of magnetism, we have F is equal to mu 0.4 pi QM1 4QM2 upon R square according to numerical. F is equal to mu 0.4 pi. This can be written directly like this: 4QM upon R square. F. What is the value? F is equal to, what is F? F is given 5 into 10 to the power minus 3 into 9.8. That is equal to mu 0.4 pi. The value is mu 0.4 pi. Mu 0.4 pi. The value is 10 to the power minus 7 Newton. That we have already seen. Put this value here. What will happen? 10 to the power minus 7 into QM into 4QM divided by R square. What is R square? That is 0.1 into 0.1. Okay. Now, we have to calculate it. See here, QM into 4QM. That will be 4QM of its square. 4QM of its square. Okay. Now, 5 into 10 to the power minus 3 into 9.8 into 0.1 of its square. Okay. What will happen? Divided by, this quantity will be divided 10 to the power minus 7. Of course, this 4 will also come to this side. QM of its square is equal to 5 into 10 to the power minus 3 into 9.8 into 0.1 into 0.1 divided by this 4 जो मल्टीप्लाई करना है वो डिवाइड करेगा 4 into 10 to the power minus 7. So QM square on simplification you will get that will be 25 into 49. 25 into 49. When you will get the square root of both the quantities, square root on both sides, you will get QM is equal to 5 into 7. That is equal to 35 Newton. And when 4 QM you have to calculate, that is your 140 Newton. That will be the answer for this. QM will be 35 Newton and not Newton, ampere into meter. That will mean ampere into meter. Ampere into meter. QM will be there 5 into 7, 35 ampere into meter, and 4 QM multiplied by 4, that will be 140 ampere into meter. Okay, 140 ampere into meter. So this is one of the application of Coulomb law of magnetic force. Okay, students, you might have understand. Do the hard work. Try to solve maximum numericals. And as well as the derivations also, try to make a practice of it. Definitely you will succeed in your life. Best of luck. Have a nice day.